Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got some coffee this morning and we got a liver detox smoothie. How does it get any better than that? And we're 2 minutes late because we were having problems with the streaming. But, oh well, we're here now. How are you guys? What are you up to today? What grand and glorious adventures are you and your body and your business up to? Love to know. All right, so today we are talking about finding your voice. What have you decided you absolutely cannot say that you truly could say? I wonder. Well, as a kid, did you get in trouble for always saying the most inappropriate things, or were you scolded for talking too much, or maybe even paid to be quiet? Well, I can definitely recall, and it's so much fun to recall things that happened as a kid and then go back and talk to your parents about how that happened and then realize that they have a totally different accounting for what happened. And now as a parent, you're constantly um, experiencing things from your view of the world and then having the kids, have a completely different reality, right? And I remember recently, as actually a while ago, we had both kids in the car. I was in the car with both of them myself, and I'm someone who can't handle a lot of noise at one time. I was thinking, and I had like clearings going on in the car as well, and then both kids got really, really loud, and I just yelled at them like, "Stop! Shush! Be quiet! I've had enough!" Right? And in that moment, I totally realized that it wasn't them that was the problem, right? It was me. It was me unable to, sort of ask for what I want. Hey, can you guys, quiet it down? And then even the quieting down is me cutting off them being them. Like they're just having fun, right? And then all of a sudden I'm impaling this belief of, well, you have to, manage other people's expectations and make sure that what you're doing isn't affecting everyone else, right? There's all kinds of things like this that we pick up when in just our normal going about things. And why is that? Because the first language that we speak is energy. So if somebody has not given you that clue, that heads up yet, that's probably why you are conflicted, because you're not giving yourself credit for that you are an energetic being, that you have these capacities to speak energy. Sometimes people mix that up with intuition, and there's a little bit of it that's similar there. But really, we all speak energy. We all have infinite perceiving and infinite knowing and infinite awareness. And by having a body in this reality, we kind of get lost in those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs kind of thing. So I'd love to know, like, if there's something that's particularly sticking as you go through your day to day, think about all the times that, you want to say something and you get that energy that you got as a child of don't speak, you are talking too much, or, you start to talk and then you get an awareness that nobody's understanding what you're saying, right? And what would it take to not go into the wrongness of you for that and just to be like, okay. So like I did with the kids in the car, like for me, I can apologize for, hey, I didn't mean to yell at you guys. This is what I really would like to have happen. And then to allow them to be them and not need to control them or control how they act or change who they are, because it is uncomfortable to me to receive them in that way, right? So with these sort of circumstances that happen over time, we pick up on like an idea that our voice has less value for whatever reason. It's not too late to change that though and say what's actually true for you, and to practice this in a daily basis and practice this with, I find there's some clients I have a real easy time having my voice with, and then there's people in my life that I have a really easy time having my voice with, and then there's people that it's not so easy with, and that I need more self-care practices around. I need to be able to spend time with people that I can have these conversations with, where they are a space that doesn't make me wrong for my choices and doesn't make the other person wrong for their choices either, and can help move me into a place of other possibilities. So Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, recently said on a radio show, and I can share the link to that if you would like, it would be really nice if people knew that they have a voice and they could create their voice in the world if they would choose it. And I agree. I love that quote. Your voice in the world is the clarity you're willing to have. Are you willing to be that clear of who you are? And let me also say that who you are changes in every 10 seconds, right? Who I am today is different than who I was yesterday. As you know, and if I bring in who I was yesterday into who I am today, then I'm bringing sort of all this baggage with me. I'm bringing, me as a 2-year-old who got yelled at, or me as a 4-year-old who got told by my grandparents to not, children should be seen and not heard. Those kinds of things, right? So I wonder what it would be like if every day you woke up and in every 10 seconds you chose, well, who am I today? What glorious adventures can I have, right? How can I have more ease today, right now, with having my voice? And especially in those moments where you want to beat yourself up for not having your voice after you've dealt with someone who's, quote, difficult, or you need to have, quote, better boundaries with. What if you just gave yourself some allowance of, I wonder what it would be like to have a little more ease having my voice around them, and what would that look like? And so we're asking questions like this because it's getting to a different place in our subconscious, right? Another part of our brain that has the connectedness to everyone and everything, and isn't limiting us to keeping us safe, right? Making sure that we don't die, which is a lot of times where that fear and that anxiety and that kind of thing reside, right? So I am sure that there are many of you who are watching who think they can't change your voice that you were born with, or that believe there's no value to their voice because you got impaled with these sort of points of view throughout your childhood. And a lot of people spend time, trying to figure that out. And what I invite you to is, what if there's just another possibility of choosing? What would it be like to just choose to believe your voice had power, and your voice had purpose, and your voice had importance, and you just started asking, and becoming more aware of, who can I share this with? How can I share it in a way that someone else can receive it? And also, this one's a big one, being present to being able to have your own voice and not need to be responsible for anyone else's reaction to it, right? So a lot of times with clients, we talk about when we try to help people and we jump into their world and we can see far beyond where they're at to what is possible for them. And we try to enroll them in that, or we try to, get them to choose that. We're still cutting off, even in our choosing, what's possible, we're cutting off an abundance of other options that they could be choosing for themselves. And so a lot of the times with solopreneurs who are selling their own services, we're constantly teaching them to, yes, you may have some sort of intuition or guidance about what's possible for this person, but don't impale that belief on them. Continue to ask questions about whether or not the person is willing and ready to receive that possibility, and whether they're willing to, do the work, align, whatever it might be with that possibility, or if there's something else that neither of you have imagined to be possible, right? So that's why these questions are so important. And I think I talked about yesterday when we were talking about procrastination, how I, jammed myself up on a sales call, where because I didn't get into enough questions, I immediately sort of went to defense and justification and reason when I was explaining to a prospect like why they needed this. Right? So be kind to yourself. You're going to continue to get better at this over time, right? But if that's a place where you get jammed up, then, I'd love to have more conversations and love to know if those are conversations you'd like us to be having on these Facebook Lives, right? So I'm going to leave you with this so we can wrap up here. Would you be willing to say everything that's true for you without choking it down and never being outrageous, without letting your feelings lock up your voice? See, feelings are one of the greatest limitations there is, and nobody knows about it. Feelings are what you use to invalidate your being. If you go to a party and feel like standing in the corner by yourself, that's how you use feelings to avoid what you could be choosing, such as enjoying yourself and having fun. Feelings keep you from choosing what you could actually be, do, have, create, generate, and say. So, what feelings are you using to avoid everything you could be choosing? Love to know what you're thinking about that, how that's working out for you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.